You're 11 years old?
How cool is
My
that, Larry?
son is 13
So is the left
like,
one a
he can
steering
barely
wheel?
ride a tricycle. This is fucking crazy.
That is awesome. So tell me about your controls.
It's a grip right there, so
Is that,
Steering.
yeah?
And hold on, I'll turn it off.
What about it, Larry? Buddy? How cool is that?
And then there's lights.
Oh my gosh.
That is the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And on my shifters right here, air. I have these things called air shifters.
Oh.
And it's like air. I don't know how to explain it. Dad, what are the air shifters?
Like that.
How do the air shifters work?
The air shifters, there's an air tank in the back. It turns the top one button on. There's an air system. There's 2 hydraulic rams down here. I have a Samurai transfer case that I put twin stick setup on. I whapped the tops of them off, put some uniballs on top, or Heims on top of it, ran them to air shifters on a pivot point. And there's 2 manual control air valves right there on the top, so they have to physically move it up and down.
Larry, is this not the coolest thing?
You ain't getting stuck.
We do it with electric over hydraulic, but I felt like that was one more thing to go wrong, so I went with just the manual style. And so far, so good. Now, part of me wishes I would have went the other way, but
That's insane. But
we're here, it works. The car actually only has first gear right now. It has a really bad, like the transmission's bad, it slips. It's got a little bit of a rod knock. We had some used parts, and that shit happened, so we bought a donor. But we're out here beating the doors off the donor until we get back from the hammers. We didn't have time to swap it all out.
What motor is that?
So 1.6 Suzuki,
Awesome.
and then a T180 transformation to a Suzuki with a 6-to-1 gear. 529 rock.
So what trails have you taken it on?
Turkey Claw and Blueberry.
Really?
Nice. Nice.
3 days ago, he went from never driving this car except for around the house one time, and then 3 days later, he's doing these trails. He went from never driving the car, going straight to Turkey Claw, through Turkey Claw, over into Blueberry and up. Day 2, he was doing Blueberry. Day 1, he did Turkey Claw. So far, so good.
That's so
Hey,
cool.
so Colton, right? It's Colton. This is Larry.
Colton, how are you?
He is my off-road hero. Like when I was young. Well, you're young. I'm not you know.
When I was young.
Yeah, actually, Mike Sullivan. I met you with Mike Sullivan.
Yeah.
Mike Sullivan's a good buddy of mine. I used to
This
live
is
by
one
him
of my
in Missouri.
off-road heroes right here.
Before he moved to Washington, I was his down the street neighbor.
That's awesome. Yeah, Mike's a good guy.
Yeah, he's good people. Living up in Washington now, we don't see much of him anymore.
I haven't heard Mike for a little bit in a while.
You know, he kind of moved and disappeared, but every once in a while I hear a little bit. He's doing all right when I hear it.
So was this a buggy you bought and modified, or did you build it?
I built it all.
Really?
It's a Rock Lizard chassis, and I got it as a DIY kit. I put it together for myself, and I'm like, you know what? I have a 13-year-old boy too who also has one. And I built his car, and then I was building this car for myself, and I decided I wanted something different. I want both my boys in the rocks first. So I cut the door bars out, and I redid the door bars, but it came as a pallet full of metal.
Colton, is it hard to move the steering?
I just kind of, it was basic chassis, and I just went with the rest of it, kind of.
You just got it.
Off of what it was.
That's so good.
See, like that's I had High Desert Laser seats. He cut that with a laser cutter, and it's precedent for a skateboard bearing on the center of it. So it has like a Brody knob in it, and it spins freely. We just couldn't get enough traction, so then I got a stomp pad off the snowboard. I had to pick it up from his first,
gotcha.
and I put that on there, and that gives them the grip on the bottom of the switch.
Snowboard grip. How about that?
So far, so good. We got a couple things we're gonna change. I'm probably gonna add another Heim on the steering shaft to take away some of the play that's in there and make it a little bit smoother. And then I may be a little bit different on the configuration on the brake to give it a little bit more easier of a throw on it. And then we need to put a new motor transmitter so it actually runs right. Right now, when he's up on the climb, it wants to, when he lets off the gas, it rolls backwards like all the way fast, pretty hard. And there's only first gear, so it's really challenging to drive, but he's made it do some shit that I didn't think he should.
So,
That's amazing.
only first and no reverse, or just
It has
only?
reverse.
Okay.
Yeah, it has first and reverse, but
I told you, Larry.
Yeah, it is the coolest thing I've ever
We
seen.
tried everything to get it going
Really
before
awesome.
we left, but it just wouldn't come together.
Right.
Hey Colton, let's just pull up and drive towards that, and let's watch that's my race car. You want to watch the dyno pull?
So Larry, his brother
pull
has
up
a
in
car
there.
too.
That's what I just
Oh
heard.
yeah, it's red.
And his
Yeah,
brother's
he's the
13.